well, before I back up. If you are active, you are going to use, on a consistent basis, anaerobic metabolism. So as I'm walking back and forth up here, yeah, most of my energy is coming from aerobic metabolism, and it is for you as you're sitting there. But as soon as you get up and walk out the door, your body's going to kick in some anaerobic metabolism. All right, you need that sudden burst of ATPs in order to get your butt out the door until your heart and lungs catch up and provide enough oxygen so that you can go back to 100% aerobic respiration. What's the waste product of anaerobic? Lactic acid, lactate. Okay. His data from the lab shows that calcium carbonate is much more susceptible to breaking down if there are small shifts in pH. So mammals get small shifts in pH because of their consistent use of anaerobic metabolism. His data from the laboratory also shows that a calcium phosphate skeleton is more resistant, to that slight change in pH. So Rubin would say that a prime factor in choosing bone, hydroxyapatite, a calcium phosphate mineral, is that it allowed vertebrates to remain or to become very, very active and still have a very solid skeleton in the face of these slight shifts in pH. Right? Now his idea is not, these 3 and 4 are not mutually exclusive. Right? So we could have had evolution of bone occurring for both of those reasons combined, because they both can be beneficial. You can see how they can be beneficial. Yeah?
Why is vertebrate bone so highly vascular? There's so much blood vessels in vertebrate bone versus like a clamshell. It doesn't bleed.
Yes, and it depends upon the type of bone. So it's all hydroxyapatite, but the way that it's constructed will differ tremendously among the vertebrates and even within you. So you have what's called compact bone and spongy bone and lamellar bone and non-lamellar bone. Some of those do not have a blood supply in them. Most of them do. So your typical large bones in your body have a very good blood supply. 2 reasons. One is that in many vertebrates you do have storage of materials inside in the marrow cavity, and so you're constantly putting, let's say, fat into that marrow. So one of the things wildlife biologists do when they're out there in the winter and there's a dead carcass of a deer or something, well, they'll look at the fat content of the marrow to see what the health of that particular animal was. So if it's got a lot in there, then it was pretty healthy. If it had all been withdrawn and used, then it's not so healthy. Well, it's beneficial in many ways. So if you break a bone, it's going to heal rapidly, more rapidly than a cartilage, because a cartilage does not have blood vessels on the inside.
But why don't we see that in non-vertebrates?
I mean, why didn't they evolve it? Why don't we see the best solution, best of all possible solutions to the problem? Well, I know, but think back to the earlier lectures. There's all sorts of reasons why something may not occur in a group. So I can't answer. That's what I told you guys. You're going to have questions like that, and sometimes I can answer them, sometimes I can't, and sometimes there is no answer. Okay. All right, I'm gonna quit there, and then I'll come back and talk about the living jawless on the next time. So for lab, what I did is I brought out jars up through I believe up through 33 are out there, except number 28 that I have to go track down. And so the idea is you try to start learning the new groups. If you've got time, put some time into going back and reviewing. Next time I'm going to bring out the 34 through the 46. And then we got at least one day where we do nothing but review. Oh, the field trip to the aquarium's not going to happen. It's some of you know that already. They're not done remodeling, and it won't be done until March. So there's no reason to go to the aquarium. You're not going to get the review of fish that I wanted you to get. So I'm not sure what we'll do up there. If people twist my arm and they want to go in March and look at mammals, look at everything, that's fine, but we might have to do it on a Saturday. Well, it's just if you go to the aquarium, you can make a targeted attack and go to the aquarium, see a little bit, and get a behind-the-scenes tour, and get back home in 3.5 hours. If you want to go and look at all of the mammals and look at the fish and etc., you're going to need more time than 3 hours. So I'm open to it, as long as I'm not underground up in the Upper Peninsula. I'll go. Maybe well, we might think about that, and if we did go, we might wait until April, when it's a little warmer.
What about, have you heard anything about that new aquarium that they built out in,
Fell out?
in Auburn Hills?
Really?
Sea Life in the Great Lakes Crossing, it's opening like this week, I think.
No idea. Sea life, that's what, in Great Lakes Crossing. I'll look it up, see what they got. Okay. I'm sure we wouldn't get a behind-the-scenes tour, but you never know. Okay, so take a break, do whatever you want, and I'll be back in a few minutes.
So unfortunately, I didn't forget a lot of my stuff in class. Do you have like a number we've already done? We didn't get 12 jars the first time, and now